Good evening and welcome to the channel's studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. US officials are in Moscow to discuss a potential ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff arrived on Thursday morning to try to convince Russia to accept a 30-day ceasefire, which Ukraine agreed to earlier this week in talks with the US. Kremlin aide Yuri Ashakov said talks would amount to nothing more than a temporary respite for the Ukrainian military and a chance for it to regroup. The American visit comes as the Russian military claimed to have recaptured Sudza, a key town in the Kursk region that Ukraine invaded last year. President Donald Trump has threatened a 200% tariff on alcohol from EU countries unless what he calls a nasty 50% tariff on whiskey is stopped. It's the latest escalation of a global trade war, which this week was ramped up with 25% tariffs on all steel and aluminium entering the US. Many people in and around the Italian city of Naples have spent the night on the streets and in their cars after an earthquake shook buildings and brought rubble crashing down. Italian seismologists said the 4.4 magnitude tremor struck on the coast between Pozzuoli and Bagnoli. The quake was felt across Naples and power supplies were disrupted in parts of the city.
Pushback at Sake came at a great cost.
South African leaders have announced they will pull their troops out of Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, where they have been helping the government fight rebel forces. The decision to start a phased withdrawal was made during a virtual summit of the 16-member South African Development Community. The troops were sent 2 years ago to support the Congolese army fighting the Rwandan-backed M23 rebels. But at least 19 soldiers from South Africa, Malawi and Tanzania were killed when the M23 captured the key city of Goma in January. South Africa has entered uncharted waters following deep divisions in the coalition government over the national budget that has finally been tabled after a month-long delay. This is the view of analysts after the finance minister's budget drew a backlash from various quarters, including key partners in the coalition government, rejecting his proposals for a second time. The African National Congress formed a government of national unity with 9 other parties after losing its parliamentary majority in elections last year. At least 53 inmates have escaped from Kutakane Penitentiary in Indonesia after breaking the main facility doors. Footage shows inmates running across the roof and jumping off vendors in the area as they flee. 21 of them have surrendered or been arrested, while 32 remain at large. The escape happened during breakfast when all inmates must queue to receive food. The incident is being linked to issues of overcrowding. A NASA SpaceX mission that aimed to clear the way for 2 stranded astronauts to get back to Earth has been postponed. The Falcon 9 launch from Florida's Cape Canaveral Space Force Station was put back due to a hydraulic ground issue. The next possible launch opportunity is on Friday evening. The rocket aimed to fly 4 crew members to the International Space Station and pave the way for the return of Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore.
Just caught a baby wombat.
And the Australian Prime Minister has criticised a US influencer after she stole a baby wombat from her mother.
Oh, chasing after her.
I got a baby wombat.
Sam Jones, who describes herself as an outdoor enthusiast and hunter on Instagram, was filmed picking up a baby wombat running across a road to a car while its mother ran after them.
All right, let's go. Come here, Mama.
The video, which was filmed in Australia, has since been deleted, and Miss Jones' Instagram account set to private.
It's just an outrage. Take a baby crocodile from its mother and see how you go there.
So if she ran away, that baby would not have known where to find mum again.
And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the channel's studios in Lagos.